Welcome to module number 5. And in this module, we're going to look at some of those reputable resources for data. And what we really need to know is where we can find the best data, the best information to drive our practice or to inform our practice. So those are some of the key issues that we're going to be examining and bringing it all together and looking at the multiple factors that contribute to disease. We're going to examine web of causation, and just keep in mind that we're building along the way, and you will be using some of this information as you complete your final paper for this course. So we're building those pieces, building those blocks for us at the end to build those competencies that we need to be successful. So, of course, we'll have the module overview, and this is the module where you will have your assignment that is due, and we will be diving into applying everything that you've learned so far into this particular assignment. We're also going to dive into chapters 9 and 11. So please take a look at those, and you also have the PowerPoint overviews for chapters 9 and 11 included in module number 5. Now we're going to cover some key aspects of epidemiology, and that's the factor of causality. And again, we need to think long and hard about what a true cause may be. Very often we examine attributing factors, but having that causal relationship, that direct relationship, is really important, because sometimes what we think may be a cause may not actually be the cause, or something that may be plausible as a cause may not be. So this is a really good TED Talk to kind of tease that out a little bit in kind of a fun way. So anyway, I hope you find that to be helpful. And also, this TED Talk goes into health claims, and again, it has to do with the value of the data, and is it really enough to indicate that there are grounds to make recommendations for particular health actions. We're going to go into the county health rankings, and as you can see, there are many links here, and I use the word plethora. I don't do that very often, but there is. And just know that not only is there data within county health rankings and roadmaps, but there's also evidence-based practice, which we're addressing in this course as well. But just for this particular module, we're going to dive into some of the data that is available. Then in addition, we also have some information from the CDC and the World Health Organization. So please know that there are multiple areas where you can find valuable data for whatever area of focus you may have or your area of practice. And there are others. Not all the sources of data are listed here within the course. This is kind of a nice overview of the county health rankings and roadmaps to kind of get a good view of what is encased within county health rankings and roadmaps. And you'll find that this is such an invaluable resource for a number of different reasons. So please take a look at this and pay attention. This website will be a wonderful tool for you as you move forward. So let's dive into some of the resources again for evidence-based practice. And the community guide is one of those that is really valuable when we're examining population health issues or any type of action that's been done within the community. So this is much like a Cochrane review, where what is encased within the community guide actually has been gone through a very rigorous process of vetting the information, and it's almost like systematic reviews, but they do level what the recommendations are for particular actions or interventions. So please pay special attention when you're looking at the different resources that are there. Some are recommended, some may not, some may have questionable support. So just know that that information has already been done for you, some of the research for you to discern what is the best evidence. So keep that in mind. And of course, we go into the recommendations with the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force, and also the County Health Rankings and Roadmaps has what works. And again, this is a long list of different types of actions that have been taken that have been effective in different communities. And always, always, always remember that when you're examining what you want to do in practice as far as implementing evidence-based practice, remember your wisdom. Remember to critically analyze and ask those questions. Will this work in my culture? Will this work in my community? Will this work in my department? Because just because something worked elsewhere doesn't mean it's going to work in your particular location. So keep that in mind. It's not only finding the best evidence, but it's also applying your wisdom, and that is part of the evidence-based practice. Actually, it's part of the system, part of the model that we as providers or for practitioners or care providers apply our wisdom in what we know about our particular area, whether or not something is plausible to work in our location. So keep that in mind. And of course, we have the tried and true. This is the Dahlgren and Whitehead model. And this is back from 1991, but it still holds true when we look at health as a whole and how everything ticks and ties and works together. As far as very often some of these things are considered social determinants of health, and these are all factors that impact our health. So as we finish up, here's some information for your critique, and there's some resources listed here that you may find to be very helpful when we're examining bias and confounding, as well as some of those terms that you may find in some of the research or the studies that you are examining. And there's just really good definitions to have that clarity that you need to make decisions on whether or not the information is good, reliable, valid, all those types of things. And then finally, here's our assignment link, and please let me know if you have any questions whatsoever, but I look forward to reading your critiques. And just a reminder with the critiques, it is you finish the critique on the form that is provided in the assignment link, and the rubric is tied right with it, so you know exactly how many points and what is expected on the form itself. This is not a paper, so please remember that as well. I'm sure you're thrilled, but use that form when you're constructing your critique or critical analysis. Take care now.